So, Jeff, speaking of people only looking for money, did you see this article about from the local Potomac local news that Danica Roem was in San Francisco fundraising this weekend? And you can put this in your answer, but I believe Danica is running for a Virginia Senate seat. So it'd be funny that there's anyone in San Francisco that can vote for her. But maybe this is part of the whole election integrity thing. The San Francisco people are voting in Virginia. But do you think Danica fundraising in San Francisco makes her a representative or a profiteer?
Ooh, that's a good question, John. I mean, is she listening to the people that she represents?
It doesn't sound like it. I mean, I don't know
She
how many people from Prince William Summer in San Francisco.
is she even talking to the people in her community? Like, is she even in the room with them? Like, she
Well,
could have
she
taken
wasn't at our small
time.
business showcase, so
She could have been at the exactly. She could have been at the small business showcase with a whole bunch of people from her community who live in her district, but she decided to be in San Francisco. Um, Look, I didn't invite her to the small business showcase because I don't know her, but she was welcome to come. It was on Facebook and everything else. But I mean, I think it makes you a profiteer, like plain and simple. And I think you're betraying the people that you're supposed to serve. Like the whole Republican system is set up with competing states, right? We're supposed to take care of Virginians. If you're in San Francisco, then you're not taking care of Virginians because you're not listening to them. Like it doesn't matter how much money you get from them. You're listening to their ideas and you're not listening to mine, right? You're not listening to yours. Now you're actually outside of her district, but she would be in mine. Like she should be in my ear every day asking me what's going on, right? She should be in the small businesses that were at that show's ear asking them what's going on. But she's in San Francisco. And I can't imagine how that serves Virginia at all.
well, I definitely don't live in the district, but if you're in the state senate, that affects everything that happens in Virginia.
It's true.
And
It's
that's one
true.
of the things that I've learned being involved in local politics is there are striations of where control is, and the state legislature, by design in Virginia, has a tremendous amount of power over our daily lives. So, yes, I may not be in the district around Prince William, but any decision that comes out of the state legislature and the state senate is going to affect my life and my family's life. So I think I have just as much right, maybe not as much right, but I have a right to complain too that someone running for a Virginia office is not in Virginia, and is seeking money that's not Virginian. I just think it does go back to that bit we talked about, the representative. And when I was talking to people at the Small Business Forum and I was passing out sort of those little booklets we've got, it was good for me to kind of rethink about like what we had talked about. And that representation aspect is so key. It's the listening. And you can only listen if you are within earshot of the people who are talking or complaining, praising. You got to be within that community. And then it is the communicating aspect, and it's the ability to put yourself out on a limb and try to explain like what's going on in this particular situation. And you can't communicate if you don't try, and if you're not in the same room or trying to find the means that you can reach out to people.
And walk across the aisle, right? Like walk in into the uncomfortable rooms and explain what's going on. Don't just hide away. I mean, I've mentioned this before. If you are local and you try to get involved with the party that's not the party that you're affiliate with, like it's really difficult. Like they try to keep you out, and it's like, shouldn't you, like, if that's where power resides, which it resides inside the party, you have to like meet the candidates and whatnot to vote on them, then why shouldn't you be allowed to come out and be at these things? And then, if you're a candidate and you've moved your power so far away from anybody in this district, like I'm serious, like I'm a parent of 5. I'm very dissatisfied with the education system. I'm very dissatisfied with the local, economy, the way that it's run, the way that land use has been a big problem locally. The roads are on constant construction, and they're getting more confusing. I can only imagine this becoming a problem in the future. And like, I can't understand why somebody who's running for office in a populist era. What does populism mean? Populism means people are frustrated because people aren't being listened to. Like, you're going to go out of the state. Like, it's just like whoever her consultants are, and we talk about consultants, like, they need to be fired, like, flat out. Like, they aren't reading the room. They aren't doing a good job at all. And because if I'm Bill Wolf, I'm putting out there, don't California our Virginia, vote Bill Wolf. Plain and simple, on every road sign, you post that link and you say, she's not listening to you. You and I both ran for office. Now, we ran in a bigger office. It was a district, but I've worked on delegate campaigns. I've worked for the governor. And I can tell you the most difficult thing that candidates and representatives struggle with is the group they lead is too big. They don't have the resources to reach all of them. They don't have the resources to talk to them. They don't have the resources to listen to them. So if you're already behind the eight ball because the rules are against you as a representative, what are you doing out of the state for even a millisecond? Because I try to talk to as many people as possible in Danica's district, which I live in, and it's nearly impossible to reach them all. There's no way you could possibly do your job effectively. And I know because I'm trying to do it. So the fact that you are outside the district, listening to anyone else is a slap in my face and everybody else's face that lives in this district.